back, everybody. Today we're going over the Streamlight TLR-3, relatively small weapon light here, and we'll do some shooting and then do some night testing with some comparison to see what kind of illumination you can get out of this little guy, and talk about the pros and cons of it. That should do it. Here we have our TLR-3. You can see the shed there is about 25 meters away. The corner of that fence right there where that tree is about, say, 45 meters away-ish. Good beam overall, nice hot spot, really lights up that shed, no problems there. Just to compare it, here we have our APL, Enforce APL. There's my dog out there. You can see the TLR-3 here, lighting him up versus the APL. APL's got less of a hot spot for sure. The spill really is pretty much identical on both of them. Those lights are pretty similar, but this one I think is going to be kind of a bigger difference, if you will. Here's my dog kicking up some leaves, again with the TLR-3, and that is the Surefire 300 Ultra. 500 lumen sucker, you can see how much hotter that hotspot is, and even the spill is much brighter. So, do you need this much light? I don't know. This light really is going to be good for most situations that I can imagine out there, but certainly there's definitely more power with that Surefire.
For a quick size comparison, here's our TLR-1, TLR-3, Enforce APL, and then the Surefire 300 Ultra. You can see, obviously, the 3 is the shortest of the bunch. So for folks who are really worried about how it's going to stick out past your barrel like they are with some tactical lights, that is one less thing to worry about, I suppose, with this light. Getting into some basic specs on it. The output is 125 lumens, but the real story is the candela, in my opinion. That's the brightness that you're going to get out of the light, and we're getting 5300 peak candela. So it definitely has a nice output, which you saw just a moment ago outside. Now, that output comes from, obviously, the Cree C4 LED and also that sort of orange peel style reflector that we've seen on other lights here on the channel. What that rippling in the reflector allows it to do is to have less of a hard edge, if you will. It gives it a little bit more soft edge and disperses the light better than it would if you had just a smooth reflector. The weight of it comes in at 2.3 ounces with the battery. And speaking of batteries, it does run on one CV CR2 lithium battery. So not the most common battery out there, but you know, Amazon Batteries Plus, Walmart even carries them, at least mine does. So they're not extremely hard to find either. Changing the battery out is pretty simple. You just twist the head here, and you'll note when I'm actually unscrewing this that it does have a O-ring sealed body, and the light is IPX7 waterproof, which essentially equates to 1 meter depth for 30 minutes. However, I can tell you after testing lights here for a long time, this one likely is IPX8. They just aren't claiming it for whatever reason, but I got a good feel on this thing would be water resistant for a good depth. And there's your CR2 battery. Put it back in and twist your cap back on to seal it down. In terms of operation, very simple rocker design. Basically, you just push down on one side for momentary on, and to have permanent on, you push down on the right side. You can sort of play with this on the right side as well for those of you who want to actuate the light like that and not turn it all the way on. But if you do want to lock it into constant on, it is only from that side or pushing up on the left side. To mount the light to your handgun, it's a pretty simple process. First off, you need to make sure that you have your correct insert in there. Most guns are going to take the alpha insert. However, there are a ton of different inserts for different guns out there that use unique sort of rail systems. And take note, the only one I know of that it really doesn't fit, that is a common gun anyway, is going to be the H&K USP series, but they do make a specific TLR-3 for the USP series. So if you have that gun, just take a look at that specific model. For everybody else, you just put your insert in, whichever one goes for your gun, and you're just going to put it in there and just push while it's in its loosest position. At this point, you're just going to finger tighten it down, secure it down to the rail. And especially with polymer frame pistols, guys, it's important not to use any sort of tool. Just finger tighten it down so that way you're not going to change the harmonics of the frame and the flux of the frame. And it's really rock solid at that point. There's no need to do anything else. And you're ready to use the light. Longtime viewers of the channel know that I have quite a few of these pistol mounted lights. I do like the option for defensive pistols to be able to mount the light actually on the pistol as opposed to having a separate light. However, I suppose that's a entirely different review. The reason I got this one though is a coworker of mine came up to me recently and said, what's the cheapest light I can put on my pistol and it still be reliable and still count on it? Obviously, there's a lot of cheap Chinese-made lights that are coming in the country, and you can find them online for 20 bucks, 15 bucks, whatever the case may be, and they have good output, at least in terms of numbers. I have a couple of those lights. I've broken them just throughout testing here on the channel. And certainly I do not recommend them for serious use. However, this light comes to market. You can find it online. I'll put a link below, but I think I got it for $75. So for $75, you're getting Streamlight quality. It's assembled here in the USA. And as you've seen, the output is pretty impressive. And Streamlights are relatively rugged designs. Yes, I know I've broken one in the past. You guys have seen it. However, their warranty's top notch. They replaced it and covered all costs both ways in terms of shipping, and I think I had it back in like 3 days, so you certainly can't complain about that. And most folks will never come near that kind of abuse on their lights. So really, I think the output's great. 125 lumens. It's, as you guys saw in the backyard, it's plenty. That's outside. When you're inside, it really is. It's plenty that you'd ever need for a home defense type of situation. Some folks may want more. That's fine, but you're probably going to have to spend a little more money to get a quality option if you're going to go that route. This is probably going to do what most people need it to do in the price range that they're comfortable with. But if you guys have any questions about this light, anything else to talk about here on the channel, you can always post below in the comment section as always. You can also post over at my Facebook page. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.